guys, it's Katie, and for today's video I am going to be doing 25 bookish facts about me. I've seen these videos on YouTube all the time. I love them. I think they're really interesting to kind of get to see people's little quirks when it comes to books and stuff. So I thought I would share some bookish facts about me. So let's get into the video. Fact number 1 is that I prefer paperbacks over hardbacks. I just think they're easier to hold and to read, and I actually don't mind mass market paperbacks, which I know a lot of people mind, but I don't know, I don't have a problem with them. So I will typically, if there's a choice between paperback and hardcover, typically I will pick paperback. The second fact is that the first book I ever remember reading was The Cat in the Hat. Number 3 is that despite having read all of the books multiple times, I still do not own all of the copies of the Harry Potter books. I think I've been trying to remedy that, so I think now I'm just missing 1, but a while ago I was missing 4, so that's kind of bad. Number 4 is that I have no idea why, but I cannot really eat anything while I'm reading. I think because I start thinking about the food and then I start worrying about whether I'm going to get it on my book, and then I just can't concentrate on the story. Also, if I'm eating something crunchy, the sound really distracts me for some reason. I have no idea why. I know it's the strangest thing, and I know a lot of people love to eat while they read. I just can't do it. Number 5 is that when I was little, I wanted to read so badly that I taught myself how to read. Number 6 is that I would pretend that I was able to read before I actually could. And so my parents told me that one time they walked in on me and my brother. I think we were sitting on the couch or something, and I had a book in my hands and I was reading to my brother, but the book was upside down and I was just making things up. And my poor brother thought I was actually reading, and my parents didn't know what to do because they didn't want to discourage me, but they also didn't want my brother to feel bad that I was reading before him. Number 7 is that I try to avoid watching the movie adaptations of books before I actually read the book, because for some reason, once I have seen the movie adaptation, I just don't really have an interest in reading the book if I have not read it already. Number 8 is that The Lord of the Rings are some of my favorite books of all time. Mostly, obviously the story's great and stuff, but mostly because of how much detail J.R.R. Tolkien put into that world. As a writer, I just can't imagine how much time and how much thought that all of that took. He literally wrote different languages, and that's insane. I don't even know where I would begin doing that. Number 9 is the last book that I cried out while reading, I don't know grammar, is A Dog's Purpose, which I'm actually currently reading. It's on my shelf over there, and yeah, it's real sad. Number 10 is that if I ever get a tattoo, which I don't think I will, but if I do, it would definitely be a quote from Narnia, because I love those books so much, and I just think there are so many great quotes in there that really kind of speak to me. Number 11 is that when I was younger, middle school aged, I loved the Aragon books so much. I don't remember, it's the Inheritance Cycle or something, is that the series name? But I loved them so much, and I was just in awe of the world and the characters and the writing. And then the last book came out and I read the ending of the last book, and I hated that ending so much that I literally sold my copies and I have not reread it to this day. Number 12 is that my least favorite trope has to be love triangles. I despise love triangles. They're ridiculous. They hurt people emotionally, and that's never really shown, especially in young adult books. So it's it's shown as being normal. I don't know anybody in real life who has ever even thought about having a love triangle. It's just weird to me. Number 13 is that I hate the question, what's your favorite book? Because I cannot decide what my favorite book is. I have a lot of books that are really special to me that I have read mostly when I was younger, because I feel like for a book to be your favorite of all time, like, you know, it needs to weather the test of time. So I have like a list of books that are very close to me and mean a lot to me, but I just can't. Sorry guys, my camera died and I can't quite remember where I left off. Hopefully it stopped filming when I think it did and not earlier. So I think what I was saying was that I just can't decide what my all-time favorite book is. So number 14 is that I don't write in my books, but for certain ones I will kind of put passages that I like in brackets and maybe underline, and then for some I'll mark the page, but I don't write notes in the margins. That was so hard for me to say for some reason, but I like putting things in brackets because I feel like it's very subtle and also really easy to erase if you change your mind about having stuff in there. Number 15 is the only book that I have ever read in one sitting was The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan. My mom surprised me and my brother with copies of it, like, I don't think the day it came out, but pretty soon after it came out. And so I sat in a chair in the living room and read the entire book in one sitting because I just couldn't put it down, because the story was so just like incredible and I just couldn't wait to see what happened, and it was like all coming to like this big climax, and it was really, really great. Number 16 is that I do not fan cast characters while I'm reading. I don't know, I feel like that might be a little bit more effort than it's worth, at least for me, because one, like, what if there's a character whose description you can't find like an actor that meets that description? So what do you do in that case? And also I don't really picture physical traits with my characters. I just kind of have like I imagine when I'm reading, I kind of feel emotions more rather than seeing the picture, although I do see the picture, but it's kind of like faint and people are just kind of like blobs, if that makes any sense. Let me know what you see or feel when you're reading books, if that makes any sense. Let me know if it's similar to my experience, or if I'm just a weirdo. Number 17 is I really like the idea of participating in readathons, but when it actually gets close to the time of the readathon and I'm thinking, yeah, I'll do this, then I think, oh wait, I'm so busy and I have to do that, and then I just get really stressed because, you know, you see people like trying to read like a book a day or something, and I can't do that. So yeah, I've never really participated in a readathon. I would love to, but I just need to kind of find, I guess, a balance that works for me. Number 18 is that I love, love, love used bookstores, and I can't remember the last time I paid full price for a book. 19 is that I get squeamish and grossed out super easily, like super easily. So if I think that there is any chance that a book is going to be somewhat gory or excessively bloody, then there's a 90% chance that I will not be picking up that book. Number 20 is that I have only ever read one graphic novel in my life, Nimona by Noelle Stevenson, is that her name? It was a really great book, so you should totally check it out. But I did really, really love it, so I want to start reading more. Number 21 is that I really love morally ambiguous characters. Number 22 is that I order the books on my shelf not by genre or author or color, but by height, because I have to. My shelves are different sizes, so like the top shelf is for small books, and then the next shelf is for a little bit taller than that, and then so on and so on. So I kind of have no choice but to organize them by height, but I don't really mind it. I think if I ever do get a different bookcase, I will maybe organize it by color or genre. I feel like color would be fun. Number 23 is that I have so many books on my TBR that I just get a little overwhelmed every now and then thinking about it. Number 24 is that unlike a lot of people, I do not mind movie covers on books. In fact, when I was younger and I had the choice between like the normal cover and a movie cover, 90% of the time I chose the movie cover. I don't know why, I just liked it better. So I know that I don't really understand why people hate the movie covers so much. I actually enjoy them. And number 25 is that I am constantly spoiling myself by doing the thing, you know, when you're reading and like, let's say you're at the end of a chapter and the end of the chapter is here, so like that block of text is shorter than this block of text, and then there's like a white space here where the chapter ends and then the next chapter begins on the next page. And because there's something about that block of white space that makes it so easy just to look over and be spoiled, and like I constantly do that. I'm constantly over on like this page thinking, don't look over there, don't look over there. And then of course my eyes dart over there and I see the end of the chapter and I spoil myself. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know some of your bookish facts. I would love to know if you do anything differently than me or if we're exactly the same. I will see you in a new video next week, and don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment if you have anything to say, and all of my social media will be in the description along with some other links. And yeah, that is about it. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!